Hey everybody, it's Daryl Kaufman. This is my Rise self-evaluation. The reflect part. How did my attitude, logic, and behaviors influence my projects? I didn't really talk about this in class because I didn't want it handicapping me or people feel sorry for me, but I'm actually partially colorblind. And what I mean is I can see colors separately, but different colors together become one color, and it actually confuses me. It's something I've dealt with since I was actually kindergartners when they diagnosed me with it. So this was sort of a challenge, but I didn't let my attitude like, oh man, I got to work with colors. I wanted the challenge, and I thought I rose to that. I was really excited about this class. This class started getting into some of the things that I wanted to do. I'm not so good with Photoshop, like hands on, like I'm not a very good drawer, or I don't color and paint things well, but the ideas are what I thrive in, and I thought that this class started challenging those ideas, and it made me start to get creative juices flowing that I was excited to really start to tap into. It was one of the first classes that made me use these things. So my behaviors and my attitude, I loved this class. I was really excited for this class, and I loved doing the assignments this month. It was very fun. As I started working on my projects, I realized that I am not good at Photoshop, and I had no clue what was going on inside Photoshop. But I did the course that we were instructed to watch, that the 4 hour long video. I actually watched it 3 times. I watched it once by myself, I watched it once with my wife, and then I watched it again just here a couple days ago. I really want to get good at Photoshop. I really want to understand how to do these things. So this way, theoretically, in a perfect world, when I get my job in marketing or PR campaigning, when I describe these things that I want, flyers or commercials or these things to look like photos, I can, maybe sit down and help them or describe it better. So I really want to get good at Photoshop, and I realized that once I downloaded it. I was a little overwhelmed when I downloaded it and started looking through it. But the more we went on, the more I realized Photoshop is like super fun to work with. If I had more time, I would have tried to get even better at cutting objects out of photos. I mean, I thought I did it well, but I have friends that are graphic designers. They make album covers and they make different things like that, and they're really precise with how they layer pieces. So I was able to learn how to do it, but being the perfectionist, I could see really major flaws that bug me, but I'm just not good at fixing them yet. I don't have a steady hand when using the mouse on the MacBook to cut perfect lines around those pictures. What I would have done differently to improve my projects, just that. I mean, the quality of it. I'm really big in quality on anything I do. I record music professionally here in Kansas, and sometimes the takes are over and over and over until we get it right. I'm very, very, very big on quality. So I think I would have if I would have had more time, I would have tried to make my projects even more concise and look better. Now that I understand these techniques, now that I understand the color palette, it's easier, or will be easier, to form new campaigns, new ideas that I have when it comes to branding things, or when I work towards my goal of public relations. I can use these tools to help me be an effective public relations specialist if that's where I choose to go. I'm also really, really into marketing right now. How will I use this in my career? Everything that I've learned so far, especially this month's class, have been really effective. I make myself my own notes. I use the notepad on the MacBook here. Little things that we learn when we watch the videos that the instructors tell us to, or when we read different things. There's little notes within those, and I write these things down. And so this way, when I graduate, I want to make myself a little booklet that has all these little gems and these little jewels of knowledge, and refer back to these things as I become the public relations specialist that I'd like to be, or the marketing advertiser that I'd like to be. So that's how I use this knowledge. It's the color palette has really changed my understanding of how things should look, as well as Photoshop has really changed how much I can actually do with these campaigns. I realize Photoshop is it's almost sky's the limit. Your imagination is how far you can really take things looking. So that's how I use it further on, and This class was a blessing. I'm very glad to be in school with you guys, and I will see you next class.